Hello, everybody. Welcome once again. It's Friday night. It's BND Live, where a group of high school friends attempts to play Dungeons and Dragons remotely via the internet. With us, as always, we have Erin as Agnes the Bard, Tim as Twizzard the Wizard, Stephen as Finric the Monk, and Chris as Paelias the Cleric. I am Shawn, your ever faithful and humbled uh, Dungeon Master. Oh my gosh, it's been a long week, folks. And this is B&D Live. All right. Yeah, let's do a little recap, shall we? A little recap from last Friday. So let's see. So it was the morning of Dalk. There was a lot more talk about boats and how to travel to Lucknow, which is quite the journey. And the great library there, the Library of Parmacoa. We'd be stopping at Wesleyville on the way there. You decide to actually go on horse the next day. You also went down to the shipyard to find that the boat is almost ready. Salty Baggins reports in that he lost sight of Finn heading north after he saw her flying around the keep. Paelias talks with Anne about the upcoming journey. They get a cat carved sending stone from Elsa for only 200 gold and the promise of a favor in the future. Paelias syncs with Elsa, and presumably Anne attunes to hers, and then you sync with her. Meanwhile, Agnes and Twizzard talk to Nate and Jenkins after they're done fishing for the day about using the boat while they're gone. If they maintain the boat, they can keep any money they earn from fishing or tourist excursions. Finric also talks to Elnath about horses and procures a horse for Finistel, who he communicates with via Sending Stone, and agreeing to meet up the next day on the road, as it were. Later that night, it is fight night, good old Dalk fight night in the Fishworks. Finric fights Aki the monk and wins. And Twizzard fought a giant toad, which after fireballing, then swallowed him. But luckily he magic missiled his way out in perhaps the most gross way imaginable. Then you all retired for a long rest. The next day was idyllic. You paid off Marshall Stone with the remaining gems owed for the boat. You bought rations for 10 days and a horse for Finistel. Oh, I guess you bought the horse that day. You said goodbye to Nate Jenkins, Lily and Henry and Gregson, everyone you had met and touched the lives of in Windbell. And you headed off on the road. At the crossroads, you met up with Finistel. And after Twizzard cheated her out of 25 gold, you continued on your way. And so that's where we'll pick things up. It's a little afternoon on Dillick, and the pony, formerly known as Belleville, now known as Orc Slayer, is being ridden by Twizzard. I believe Mr. Bones is just jogging along.
Yeah, he's too big.
Then there's on her mule, Sewell, or Soul or Sewell, Agnes.
Oh, I was like like Sully or
Yeah,
Sullivan with
that sounds
red.
good. I like that. Finric, of course, is on his Clydesdale Clyde. It's amazing. And Finistel is now the proud owner of Sind, her riding horse. And Paelias is the proud owner of Laguna. His, let's put them in front. Why not? I don't know. What's the order you folks would like to travel in?
That looks good.
I have pretty high passive perception, so I should probably be near the front.
All right. Sure, why not? I'll have these
What's the
folks.
horse's name? Gassy?
What's that?
What's Finestrel's horse's name?
Finistal's horse is named Sind. Sind.
Hmm.
Yeah. So the road to Wesleyville. So let's talk a little about this. So you've passed by the Mistral Hills. You've passed by the sort of crossroads. To the west would be Bellwether Glen. To the east, a bridge across the river um, over to the Averska Mountains, and it's actually the Averska River as well. Um, and now you are sort of the road winds along the edge of the foothills. The Averska Mountains are always present off to your right. There's some high clouds in the sky. It's a nice day. There's a few scattered farmhouses that you pass every now and then off to the left, here and there. And Agnes, with your high perception, passive perception, you sometimes see sheep, maybe grazing in the foothills off to the right. There's shepherd watching over them. And you continue. Is there anything you'd like to discuss as you continue your ride north?
Does Mr. Twizzard have anything to discuss with us?
Yes. Why do you call it a hot water heater when hot water doesn't need to be heated?
Yeah, hot water cooler or a cold water heater.
Something went seriously wrong here.
I agree.
Well, time for lunch?
I'm glad we were able to kind of all talk about that.
Was there anything in particular you wanted to do in Wesleyville?
Oh, is this about the thing?
Probably. I don't know about the thing.
Yes. Okay, so good news, everyone. This may or may not be what I'm thinking about too, but I may or may not have entered us all into a circus. Some sort of circus.
Well, hopefully, may not.
Right.
I don't really know. But it could be. So, and maybe we'll at least get some popcorn, maybe a good show.
Uh-huh.
Imagine we won't have to pay. So,
Do
you know,
they-
that's good.
Do they know what I look like?
I forwarded descriptions of all of us.
Wait, when you say you got us into a circus, do you mean we are the circus performers or we are the audience watching a circus?
We have been invited to act out our awesome battle and triumph at the pyramid back in Windbell. Because that tale has gone far and wide, and the people have demanded a show.
Okay, well, easy peasy. We just plant some more of the beans. One of them's gonna have a pyramid, and we'll just sort of, you know.
That is the best idea I've heard in a long time. We're doing that.
Well,
Plant beans until we get a pyramid.
Yeah.
Is there some monetary fee that you negotiated here?
Course. And I will tell you when I remember. It's in my saddlebags, and I can't reach it while I'm riding. I wrote it down, so I didn't forget. How close to that town are we?
What's that? Well, this is going to be a 5-day journey. So this is just your first day.
Okay, excellent. Very good. Yes, probably.
I'm sorry, Twizzard. You said a circus, and we will be attending the circus, or we will be the performers
We will be at the circus.
at the circus. And this is a circus in Wesleyville.
I believe so.
Who gave you the invitation?
The circus master. The circus owner. Mrs. Circus herself. I don't remember her name.
Give me a persuasion check.
She seemed awfully important, though. Oh, you're all about to believe me. Yes, it was Mrs. Circus. That's who it was.
Wait, what was the number? You never said the number.
Oh, 20. Oh, sorry. I thought you heard that.
Froze for a minute.
You froze for a minute.
Yeah, it's 20.
Well, I mean, you seem quite sure of yourself. In my days in Wesleyville, I never saw a circus, but I didn't see everything. It's a large town. It's a large city, in fact. I mean, it's the capital. Well, is this part of our quest, though? Is this part of the lead?
It's gonna help. It's gonna generate some revenue that we all need.
Generate some revenue.
Mm-hmm.
Fascinating. You folks do work in mysterious ways, don't you?
Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do.
Things don't come cheap, at least for an adventurer.
Now, who doesn't love a circus?
Two of the four main party members raised their hands.
Good thing I wasn't looking at anyone
I'm
after
a
I asked that.
performer, but I am not that kind of performer.
It's right up your alley.
Yeah, what are we supposed to be doing on this circus, Wizard?
Reenacting our heroic stand against the evil mummy and his crappy heart.
All right. Well, it's 5 days until we get to Wesleyville, so we have 5 days to figure out how to get out of this whole circus thing.
Or how to get in deeper.
We could probably burn down the circus.
Now, who is this circus lady again? Is she of someone of great influence?
Yes, the highest. She's probably one of the most important people in this circus town.
I'm so glad you're doing the negotiations here.
Well, at first I thought it was just me. Now I know it's all of us.
Do you owe her money, Wizard?
No. I hope not. That'd be a really bad deal.
How did she talk you into this?
I went down to the pyramid to sign autographs, and she was probably the only person standing there.
So she signed your autograph and you agreed to be in her circus?
Actually, I don't know. Did I sign an autograph for her? I must have. I probably did. I probably signed a few. So, but yeah, then she was telling me about it. I was like, well, that sounds like a great idea. And I can make a lot of money? Yep. Okay.
I kind
Let's
of
do
want to
it.
roll an insight check.
You should roll an insight check. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do that.
What's my
Not very
insight?
insightful.
11.
You know Twizzard pretty well. You know you're not getting the whole story, or at least not a clear story.
I think it's because he doesn't know the whole story.
That's entirely possible.
Mr. Twizzard, were you perhaps inebriated when you had this conversation?
Very good
No.
question.
Did you have a forgetful Johnny?
I only had one of those once, and it had no effect on me, because my mind is like a steel trap. You touch it, it springs and bites your hand.
I believe that.
All right, well,
You had-
I'm going to try to ignore Mr. Twizzard's story and keep my eyes on the road.
Keep going, you're walking right into my circus.
Your circus.
All
I
right.
mean,
So you,
our circus.
did you folks have lunch when you met up with Finistel, or do you want to have lunch, or
I've been snacking.
you both know? Okay. All right, fair enough.
We probably have all of our food, and there's probably none of it left. We have like 7 days worth of food just in case.
I think we found the reason
I
we
think-
keep running out of food.
And we're probably down to 3 days worth of rations.
No, we still have 5 days of food left. Come on.
Monks, man, they need a lot of energy.
Yeah.
Where do you think those key points come from? They gotta have a lot
I
of
think I'm
energy.
probably carrying my own rations at this point.
Oh my god. So you folks basically ride through the day, and as it gets to maybe 6 or so p.m., Agnes, you spot ahead a little group. Give me a perception check.
No.
$14.
Yeah, no, you see with your half elven eyes some people on horseback, maybe at least 4 or 5, maybe even more, and a carriage, and they're coming toward you on the road.
Oh, hey, everybody. We have some incoming journeys people. There is a carriage, and it looks like maybe 4 people on horseback. If they have a carriage, I don't know if we should really be too worried, but maybe we should not look too threatening.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Do you think they have any food?
Well, we were expecting possibly to run into Galdinger at some point.
Ooh.
The carriage, I can't see if there's a crest on it yet, but
You do
could
see
be.
that there's more than 3. There's probably at least 7 people on horses in addition to the carriage now.
Oh, as they approach, there's way more. But I do recall Galdinger saying he was bringing people down to work on the keep.
Do they look like soldiers?
Can we
I don't know,
see some Galdinger?
You see a few of them have what appear to be spears, and then a horseman breaks from the main group and rides towards you, and in a moment you hear, "Ha ha! Hello!" It is indeed Sir Galdinger, and he sort of comes up and pulls up in front of you folks atop his war horse, which is almost as grand as Finric's Clyde, but
I would have come up to meet you, but my mule does not travel nearly as fast as your mighty steed there.
Ha! I dare say it wouldn't. Look at you folks. How are you doing? It's been so long. How is my daughter? Where is my daughter? Wait, I already know. She stayed behind the town. That's right, sending stones and all. These magical rocks. Ridiculous. What was that, Twizzard? Twizzard, you're looking well. Ah, it's so good to see all of you.
Well, thank you.
Same here. We're glad to see you as well, and you look like you're doing well, and you have a nice entourage.
Yes, I've got my lovely wife and my youngest Sarah. And as the carriage rolls up, you see there are 3 mounted guard on horses, and also a sort of group of craftsmen with various tools and bundles on their mules behind the carriage and to either side. And you see a little tousled head pop out of the side of the carriage, and the youngest Galdinger child, Sarah, jumps out and she runs up. She's like, "Oh wow! Hey everybody, how's Lily? How you guys doing? Hey!" And she runs up to Twizzard and she's like, "I remember pulling your beard. Ha! Look at that!" And she grabs your beard and yanks at Twizzard.
Oh, it's so real.
Now, Sarah, calm down, please. Boy, it's so boring riding in a carriage all day. Wow, look at this guy made of bones. Holy moly, this guy is huge. Whoa, what is that?
That's Mr. Bones, or Oni Boney if you're his friend.
Is he safe?
He is very safe, unless he falls on you.
Wow, look at that. Wow, that's awesome. Oh my gosh. Meet my wife, Lady Sophia Galdinger, and she gets out of the carriage and she sort of, brings Sarah into somewhat of a controlled manner. It's difficult. So, how is Windbell? I hear you. What's that?
Well, I say good day, my fine lady.
Very nice to meet you all. I've heard a lot of stories, and I trust my daughter hasn't been too much trouble for you, Lily.
Not at all. She's been a great help at many situations.
It's excellent. Great to hear. Now that Sir Bryant has said that the keep is now safer, and so we've decided to all come down this time. We've got some close family friends keeping an eye on things in Wesleyville. I will be returning with Sarah, but I do want to see our ancestral home, as it were. Of course you do. It's a wonderful place. Wonderful, brilliant view of the ocean. We'll get her fixed up in no time. Won't we, folks?
So I say to Sir Bryant, "Oh, Lily has been practicing very hard with her fighting skills, and she has some very, very interesting tricks and attacks that she wants to show you. But trust me, she has a very good handle on all of them, and there is no need for you to concern yourself if she does something that you think you might die from.
Not worried at all, are you?
Give me
It's all part of it.
give me a persuasion check. See if you
Oh,
can.
11?
I see. All right. I will take that in the best way possible. I mean, she has kept me abreast of her training via these magical stones of yours, and I admit I am intrigued and eager to see what she has learned. So, I am in your debt. Do you require any monetary compensation for any of the materials, or she said she is quite enamored with a piece of armor that she's grown used to?
Oh, yes. So the original Mr. Bones had a much smaller stature, and Mr. Twizzard had outfitted him with a very nice piece of breastplate.
Very expensive.
However, it was, I think, 300 gold.
No, it was 800.
Well, no. But whatever it was
Sort of
more
looks
than
between the
100.
two of you.
It was more than 100,
That's
but I don't
what
think
said.
I don't think it maxed out above 300. Her silver dagger was 300.
Plus the 800,
Anyway,
1500.
so the older Mr. Bones could no longer wear it because now we have a much larger Mr. Bones, and we thought it would be in the best interest for Lily's safety for her to wear the breastplate. It is still a little on the large side for her, but it's something that she could grow into, and she is quite agile in it still.
Well. I need most of my liquid assets that I have with me for paying off the craftsmen in the village. And however, I can spare, shall we say, 30 platinum to tide you over. And here, let me. So he hands over a thick purse to you, Agnes, and you hear the clink of platinum inside. And then he sort of goes back to the carriage and gets out a scroll, and he scrawls something in his flowing script, and then he rolls it up. And he takes a blob of wax and places it on it, and imprints his ring, and then hands you a scroll. If you take that to the Galdinger estate, my servants will see that you get the rest of your gold.
Well,
It's
Mr. Goldinger, sir.
The estate, of course, is in River Lane.
River Lane.
Yes.
River Lane. We were actually thinking of procuring a piece of land in just outside of Windbell.
Really?
A nice little cliffside piece of farmland with a small cabin. We think that we've got everything taken care of, at least negotiation-wise, with the purchase of the house itself. But in terms of getting any land with it, we need to go to Wesleyville and get all of the paperwork done. Would you be able to maybe give us something to show the Duke?
Yes, of course, I understand. To grease the wheels of bureaucracy, as it were.
Yeah, to let him know that we are friends of yours, that you trust us, that you think that we are,
We're
you
like
know,
this.
Of course. Yes,
Like
let me...
like a bride.
one moment. He goes and he gets another sheet of parchment and flourishes his quill and writes some more flowery script, and again rolls it up, and another blop of sealing wax, and sticks his ring in once more, and he hands you a second note. Yes, that should get you in the door of Duke Ashfield, of course, and should grease the wheels, as we said.
And where did you say your estate was again? River what?
River Lane, of course.
River Lane. I thought maybe I heard Riverdale for some reason, but yes, River Lane. That makes more sense.
Yes, yes. Have you been to Wesleyville?
I have been through Wesleyville, and a long, long time ago, I was there with my mother when she was still in her performing days.
Ah, wonderful, wonderful. Well, I hope you have a. I guess I don't actually know. Lily said you were off on some quest of some sort, but. And then
Sort of a quest for knowledge.
A quest for knowledge, of course. Well, Finric, you'll of course want to check out Church Street with the monastery there. Many monks, many different disciplines. I've also seen various robes, and I'm sure I feel like I've seen perhaps some of what did you say your sect would you say was?
Well, I followed the way of the Cobalt Soul.
Ah, the way of the Cobalt Soul. Of course, yes. Yes, that's all very interesting. So, well, we should be on our way, and again, thank you for. Well, it sounds like you've been quite the influence in my daughter's life, and it sounds like a good influence. So, again, you have
we
my
try
thanks.
very much to. You don't happen to have any like spare like rolled oats or anything of
Rolled
that nature?
oats, you say, and he sort of looks to his armed guards, and they sort of look to each other, and they go and talk to some of the craftsmen on their mules, and they come back and they give you a small sack of rolled oats.
Oh, you're the best.
Yes,
That's for the
anything to
client,
help.
though, right?
What's
That's
that?
not for snacking. That's not for you snacking, Finric, right? That's for the horse.
We'll talk about that later.
Oh, I forgot what a delightfully confusing bunch you folks are. Well, Sophia, Sarah, please, can I ride outside for a while? Sure, of course, Sarah. All right, folks. Well, enjoy your day. And Sophia,
Safe travels.
Lady Sophia, gets back in, and little Sarah jumps up next to the driver of the carriage, and they continue on down the road. So, I'm sorry, who were those people again? Just finished up.
That's Lily's father, mother, and younger sister.
Ah, I see. Well, you must have done them quite the favor to have him pay over 30 platinum that easily.
Well, we all have our benefactors, don't we?
I suppose we do, Finric. I suppose we do.
That, and we did, flip the bill for a couple of major weapon enhancements for Lily.
All right.
And we also helped rid the keep of goblins.
Yeah,
So
it's true.
that's also there,
That's worth at least 2 or 3 platinum.
Indeed it is.
So 30 platinum is equal to 300 gold, correct?
Yep.
Okay, so Mr. Twizzard, you get at least 100 gold's worth because that's reimbursement for your.
Well, that's better than the nothing I thought I was going to get, so I'll take it.
And then, did you also pay for her dagger with your ill-gotten 1,000 gold?
Oh.
That I don't necessarily think you should get back, though.
Hey, it was hard conjuring that diamond. I think magic comes out of
So
nowhere.
why don't you take 10, and then the three of us will split.
I've got 110. I need it.
Yeah, he does not need it at all. So you get either 10 platinum or 100 gold, however you want to look at it.
I'll take 100.
And then should we just put the other into splitting as best as we can? That's 23 ways.
Why have to split it 23 ways?
No, 20 platinum in 3 ways.
There's a lot of more NPCs than I knew about.
Well, I'll grab 6 if that's okay. I mean,
Yeah, you can give Twitter a little bit more for the split too, because he paid the fee, but he should get some of the split too. So let's just split the 24 ways.
Okay. All right. So then we each get five platinum.
Yeah. I'm gonna convert mine to gold.
That's fine.
That's perfect.
I'm gonna convert mine to cobalt for my soul.
For your what?
For my soul.
I missed the joke.
I'm going to convert it to cobalt for my soul.
Oh, I get it.
Cobalt.
Good. He's a cobalt soul
So it
monk.
doesn't just forge itself.
It's pretty
What's
good.
the website again?
Is that how it works? What's the website again? It's D&D Beyond. D&D. D&D Beyond,
Oh,
my
I thought
friend.
you were talking about his monastery or something. Like,
Finric was talking about his monastery.
no, I know, but the website for the monastery.
Yeah, it's wayofthecobalt.soul.eu.
Go in there.
European.
It's considered. Oh, no, I think he said edu. So it's an educational. It's not like.
Yeah, EDU.
They're
Yeah.
cool.
I thought you said EU, like European Union.
Pretty sure I said EU, but
Oh, did you?
Oh,
EDU makes more sense.
No. Yeah, whatever.
This is
You do what you do, bud.
This is really good
Don't worry, I
content.
just bought those domains.
So it's late in the day. You folks have been riding the whole day. What would you like to do?
well, we can. I mean, how much sun is still left in the sky? Because I
A
definitely
couple
have
hours.
Leoman's tiny hut. So for 8 hours, we'll be protected.
Is it dangerous out here?
No, but it'll protect us from any kind of weather, any kind of.
I cast Prestidigitation to make a shower of sparks.
I have an idea.
You do so. What color are they?
We're gonna have dinner.
We have dinner. No, but we build a fire to have dinner. We can cook the rolled oats. That way, it'll also give up some smoke, right? So that way, if there's anyone around, they'll see where we are. And then we go to sleep, and like Agnes, maybe you can stay up and take watch all night because you have the high perception. And then like maybe we'll get into like a cool battle.
Ooh, a night battle.
Oh, so you want to attract attention?
It's a clear the area.
Yeah, it's practice.
Well, maybe we can go off the path and do a little sightseeing.
That'll do.
I mean, how far is it to any kind of wooded area or
Yeah. So
area?
good question. So as you've gone north, again, the river is still beside you. The Averska Mountains are still off to your right. Some peaks higher than others. Let's see here. Yeah, no, you'd have to cross the river to get to the mountains at this point. I mean, again, this is only your first day of a 5-day journey. You've gone maybe, 40, 47 or so miles. You could keep going a little. You could eat dinner. You could head over to the river and have a look around.
Well, how far would it be to the river? Like, would that add a whole bunch, or is that?
No, you can probably get to the river within a half an hour. I mean, it's not that. It's sort of as the road goes mostly north, the river sort of winds along the foothills of the mountains.
Is this freshwater?
It is freshwater, yeah. Yeah, it's the
So
same.
we
It's
can-
the same river you fought the goblins by, and you crossed in a weird way at some point to get over to Finty's Crag in our very first untelevised adventures, as it were.
So then maybe we should head towards the river, so at least we have fresh water for cooking and washing, and because in the morning I would probably want to be able to do my daily toiletries with fresh water.
Sure.
Not
So
with
yeah,
my
so
wa-
you guys head off the beaten road, as it were. And again, it's not, between the road and the river is not, there's some scrub brush and things like that. There's a bit of a forest here and there on the left sometimes, but it's also a lot of farmland. Again, you've passed some farms. You don't see any currently, but they're sporadically. So yeah, you guys head a little over to the river, and whoever would like to give me some perception checks. You're gonna find a nice. Are you looking for a nice place to have dinner or set up the hut?
Yeah, both. a nice piece of flat area for all that stuff. Oh gosh, what is that? 12? No, perception. Yeah, 12. 12.
All right. Yeah, I mean it's fairly easy to find a place some stones. Maybe you could make a fire pit if you want. A little bit of a clearing. Finistel has been mostly silent through this process but she's willing to go along with you folks. She's
She's all in on the Tam.
she's all in on the Ateum. She's definitely studying her ways, but yeah. So you folks find a nice piece of ground there, and
All right, I tie up Soul and give enough slack in the line so Soul can kind of raise a bit.
Sure. Is Mr. Bones doing anything in particular, Mr. Twizzard?
Mr. Bones, why don't you gather some firewood?
So Mr. Bones sort of goes off and starts picking up various. The trees aren't super tall. You got some some crab apples. It's not like the most fertile ground, but there's some trees here and there. He gathers up some wood and brings it back and sort of dumps it in the center there.
Good job, Mr. Bones. All right, we need to make it smoky so we can attract people.
And then we should probably put in some dry leaves.
Mr. Bones, go get some dry leaves.
Do you want dry leaves or wet leaves for smoke?
Oh, I think any leaves would probably do smoke.
Any leaves
The
would be
wet leaves
smokier.
probably would make more because of the water vapor. Moisture content.
Mr. Bones, get both wet and dry leaves.
We're gonna run an experiment.
She goes off to gather leaves. I'm sorry. Why do we need the leaves again?
Oh, in case there's any bees around, we want to calm them down with the smoke so they don't, swarm.
Right. So wait, hold on. So just point of order. Whenever you folks talk, are you always doing it via sending stone? So she can never
No,
hear
I'm
you?
talking to her directly.
Oh, I know you are now, but she also
Oh.
heard you talking about the leaves and the, attracting attention, so.
Oh.
No, not over the roar of the river. She didn't. We were pretty discreet about that.
Were you? I definitely
Nice.
heard you talking about attracting attention.
Uh-oh.
Well, you see, I don't want anyone who could possibly be allergic to bees to get stung. I don't know what Finric over here wants to do. Maybe he wants to attract attention. Maybe he wants to attract a certain somebody's attention.
Finric was saying he wanted to fight.
Yeah, it's just one of those things that monks do.
I see.
But you know what I'd really like? If we get the fire going, once the fire dies down a little bit, we'll find some sort of pot. Does anyone have a pot? Anyway, we get one or like a rock with a depression in it, and we put on some of the oats and some of the water, and we just sort of let it cook overnight on the dying embers of the fire.
Oh,
wake
make
up,
a
it'll be
really
like
nice
warm.
porridge in the morning.
Yeah.
I mean, that does sound surprisingly good. All right. I could search for a rock or perhaps magically carve one into something reasonable. Let me see what I have here at the ready.
Oh, Mr. Twizzard can just conjure a pot.
For an hour, and then the pot disappears, and the oats go.
Oh, yeah.
The oats just fall in the fire.
Oh, it needs to be overnight. That's right. That won't work. Not at all.
Even I knew that.
Yeah, you did.
Getting used to your powers, Twizzard.
That's why I got my wizard certification.
It only took 40 episodes.
Getting the hang of this thing.
Why is it low?
Oh my god. All right.
So is the river,
anyone
river's
else?
nearby?
So you folks are sort of settling in while Mr. Bones gathers varying amounts of leaves and firewood. Does anyone want to? You are near the river now. If you needed to do any washing or anything like that, but you're generally just enjoying yourselves.
Can I go down to the river
Sure.
and conjure a 3 foot by 3 foot sailboat? or a little boat that I can stand in or somehow squat in?
Let's see. So roll a. You want to make a boat that'll support your weight. Give me a nature check to see how well you make this boat.
Ooh, a nature check.
Yeah, because you need to understand the buoyancy and the.
Oh, nature is something Twizzards are all about. 19.
All
Nice.
right. Yeah. Finistel is admittedly a little intrigued. She's sort of watching from afar. And yeah, you conjure a rudimentary boat, and you sort of like get one leg in and sort of get yourself situated and sort of push off. Your boot gets a little wet, but nothing, it's made to get wet. They're boots. And yeah, you're now floating in the river. There is a current, so you're now moving downriver in your boat. What would you like to do?
I guess I should have asked. Is it a strong current? It's not like class 5 rapids or anything, right?
At this point in the river, it is not. The river is wider here, so it's slower, but it is a current. You are moving, at a fair pace. Finistel is watching you as you sort of, you're drifting down.
Can I also conjure an oar? Like, I don't know. Is there limits at how often I can conjure
I
stuff?
think you can only do one. Is it only one thing at a time?
I don't know. I never saw anything about that, but it could be. Oh, wait. Hold on. Oh, yeah. Object disappears when you use this feature again. Okay, yeah.
You can have an oar.
You are going down the proverbial creek without a paddle, my friend.
Uh-oh. I got this cool boat, though. Look at this. All right, I'm going to start paddling with my hands. See you fuckers later.
All right, give me an athletics check. You're paddling against the current?
I'm just trying to stay in one spot
Okay.
if I can. Athletics. Ooh, +1. 14.
Yeah, you're holding your own against the current.
Yeah, look at me.
Don't worry, Mr. Twizzard. If you get lost, I have a compass that points to your ass.
You're going to find it floating down the river.
Oh my god.
Maybe just take hold of this rope.
We've got rope.
Well, if you have an adventurer's backpack, you have 50 feet of rope.
I don't think I picked that up. Anybody want to try my boat? Pretty sweet. Look at this.
No, it's quite
Is-
alright.
I was gonna say, does the boat look like it's can hold another person?
It does not, Finric. No, I'm surprised it holds him, and he's barely managing.
Jump on in.
He's barely managing to fight the current. It's
All
actually
right,
quite
well-
amusing.
Yeah, let's. I guess I could watch.
We can balance. Come on in, Finric. Let me paddle up toward you.
No, I'll just stick my feet in. Not the boat, just the water.
I'm the captain of this boat.
Now, Paelias, do you need to look around for any kind of herbs or special items for Elsa?
I don't know. She hasn't called me yet.
Do you want to call her and ask her if there's anything that grows by riverbeds?
Sure. Okay.
I can certainly help you look. I have, do I have good nature? Am I a good natured person?
Mhm.
I have +3 nature. It's not terrible.
All right. Yo, E-Dog. What up?
So you buzz the sending stone of Elsa.
Yeah.
Good evening, Paelias. How was your day of traveling?
Oh, so far so good. Could have used an in-flight movie, but you get what you pay for.
It must be terminology I'm not familiar with. To what do I owe the pleasure of this discussion?
Oh yeah, so just wanted to see, I'm near a riverbed. Not sure what kind of herbs you're looking for, but if you wanted me to search for something, they got the townlands.
Yes. No, the herbs I am interested in, you will find perhaps in Torin, or depending on the route you go. Do you know what route you're taking, by the way?
Yeah, I think we're planning on going up through the mountains, through the northern area.
All right. Yes, I would appreciate you contacting me when you are in the mountains further north. If you are
Sure.
only a day out, you must still be in Oxnard, and the herbs I'm interested in do not grow this far south.
Oh, okay. All right, yeah, that's fine. I'll give you a call when we're in the mountains then.
All right, I appreciate the call, though.
Hey, no problem. Happy to help.
Hey, how is our warlock friend? Did you meet up with her?
Yep. She's in the crew. She's observing. She's been quiet, but she's here. She's
All right.
she's tagging along.
All right, well, good luck then.
All right, thanks, Elsa.
She clicks off.
Well, see you later.
Meanwhile, Twizzard, you feel like you're actually gaining on the river. You're now pushing against the current. You're making some headway. You're almost back to where you started. Everyone else can see that Finistel is sort of waving her hand, and a bright purple arcane hand is pushing the boat without Twizzard noticing, helping him along, and she's sort of trying to contain a smirk as she does this.
I'm stronger than the river.
Wow, you're really doing a great job there, Twizzard. You're really fighting the current. You're quite strong, aren't you?
Come on, who's got next? This thing's a blast. SS Twizzard.
And then all of a sudden the hand grabs on and starts pulling you backwards, and all the momentum that you've gained, you're now losing ground to the river.
Oh, I'm going to whirlpool.
Are you getting tired there, Twizzard?
I think I'm going to pull over to the side.
And the hand starts to pull you further into the river.
Uh-oh. There's some problems here.
You're quite the strapping young dwarf, aren't you, Twizzard?
This river's broken.
And then the hand disapparates behind you, and you feel the sort of current, and it feels like it felt before. You're a little confused as to what happened.
Yeah, maybe you should come over to the side, Mr. Twizzard. I'll meet you down.
That's what I was trying to do. Somehow I ended up in the middle.
Finistel makes her way back to the growing pile of branches and leaves, and she casts Create Bonfire and lights up the cooking fire. You manage to get back to the edge, Twizzard, and give me a little acrobatics to see if you upright or upend yourself as you get out of your boat.
Can he do it with advantage? I'll help him.
Absolutely.
Why would I? Oh, you're helping me out of my boat?
Yeah, I'll give you my hand to
Oh, so I roll twice?
help steady up. Well, you take whatever the higher number is.
Oh, 15.
All right, yeah, you get out. You get out without just the boots get wet, but that's perfectly fine with Agnes's help. All right, so you
And
folks.
I whispered to Mr. Twizzard, you might not have known this, but Finistro was making fun of you by
What?
using a magic purple hand to guide your boat in ways that you may or may not have wanted it to go.
Of course I knew that. Knew that the whole time. Little
Okay.
game we play together.
All right, just letting you know.
All right, so you folks, you would have a nice fire. The sun is setting. You've got your rations. Any other particular things you'd like to cook on the fire?
Finric! What?
Hi. What?
What?
We're gonna cook Finric?
What? No.
No, I think it's cook, comma, Finric.
Oh. Let's cook.
Did we, well, I guess my first question is, Finistel, I did you happen to be able to carve out a vessel for oat cooking for the morning?
Oh, I admit I was so intrigued by Twizzard's boating expedition that I didn't. I actually
Your responsibilities.
I feel like I feel like the spells that I've prepared for today are not necessarily useful in that regard.
Tell you what, why don't you prepare some for tomorrow? Tomorrow night we'll get ourselves a vessel. We'll cook up some oats, and then come the morning of the Sol, we will have oats for breakfast.
Yes, I think that sounds very nice, Finric. Yes.
Great. So for now, maybe we'll cook up some apples.
I don't know if we need to cook apples. I mean, you can cook a baked apple is
A
delicious.
baked apple is quite delicious.
Yeah.
Don't poo-poo our cooked apple.
But cooked and baked are two different things.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we can cook any of this jerky. It might just, I don't know that that'll.
We can go catch some fish.
Well, I did not buy the fishing pole from Mastala.
Do we need a fishing pole? We can just catch them with our spears.
I'm just gonna fireball the river.
Oh,
Oh
well,
my god.
I don't have a spear.
I think I have a spear. You have a spear too, right, Finner?
Yeah, okay, cool. This will satisfy my craving for both fish and violence. So let's.
You got a net, wizard?
So what I'll do is I'll use a minor illusion to make something kind of sparkle lure-like at a place underneath the water for Finric and or Paelias to aim at.
Nice. All right, let's go do it.
All right, yeah. So what exactly are we trying to do? So
We're
And
Finric.
just remember, based
I think
on
we're fishing.
refraction, you want to aim a little closer to yourself, even though the fish looks like it's farther away.
How do you know that, Bard?
I'm not completely educated.
Yeah,
All
her,
right,
her
so
her father's a ranger. He would have taught her stuff.
Okay.
It
I'm
checks out.
gonna look around and see if there's any areas of the river that looks like if I were a fish, I would want to congregate.
Yeah, give me
And,
a perception check.
Excellent. 16.
All right, yeah. There's a little bit of the river, a little further down, or actually a little further up from where Twizzard was boating. There's a sort of a cutout in the bank, and the current there seems less strong. And you notice some insects and some ripples on the water. Actually, it seems like a fairly good place to try to catch a fish.
Okay. So I'm gonna be very quiet. So I'm gonna sort of sneak up.
That is
I
the
do my minor illusion.
Yes.
all right. So
And,
minor illusion of sparkly things in the water.
It looks like a little piece of silver or like fish scales just glinting off the sun,
Okay.
right under the surface of the water.
And Finric, you've got a spear, you said?
Yes.
Okay. Give me a survival check, Finric.
Ooh, that's like the first time.
Survival check.
Oh yeah.
Uh-oh.
Okay. 15.
All right. Now, so you see the glint of a sizable fish. Give me a dexterity and actually give me an attack. Give me an attack roll.
Okay. 22.
Yeah. You've attracted the fish with Agnes's help. You've seen it. And you've got a fish speared on the end of your spear.
Nice, it worked.
As the spear floats down the river with the fish on it.
No, I think did you keep a hold of it or did you throw it?
Hey, you hold it.
Yeah.
I figured I jabbed it.
Yeah, I imagine he held on to it. Yeah. You've got a let's see, you've got a holy crap. You've got wow, really? A 7-pound fish.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good job.
This is a big
Does any
fish.
of us have salt? We could salt this fish and have it for a couple of nights.
Must have something. I know I have. I have lakawa. I have jade dust, licorice. You can grind a muffin into dust, and wormwood, and I have honey.
Oh, you know what? I have
Oh, you
I
have the thing that makes everything taste like cinnamon.
You do.
a wooden box that smells.
You could make something taste like cinnamon and then add that cinnamon tasting thing, as long as it's still edible, to the fish for flavor.
Now that with the baked apple, cinnamon baked apple. I mean,
Oh yeah.
The apples, yes. Fish.
Yeah.
cinnamon fish,
No.
less
What I was
popular.
gonna say is I've got the wooden box that smells of cherries that we got from Morgo's keep, and I'm pretty sure that like there's no like mystical things. Like I don't need to use it for anything. We could maybe like hot smoke or sell some fish.
Mm.
Oh, like cherry wood smoked fish.
Yeah. How do we do that?
I believe that we will need to at least fillet it, try to remove as many bones as possible.
Cool.
Get the two sides so that it's a little thinner and the smoke can actually penetrate.
Well, tell you what. Why don't we cook up? Let's fillet this thing. We'll cook up one half like proper and have it for dinner, and then the other half we'll try this whole smoking thing. And if it doesn't work out the way we hope, then at least we'll have a nice, tasty meal of the one half.
Yeah, 3.5 pounds is still a significant amount of food. I mean, I'm not going to be able to eat more than maybe a quarter of a pound.
Yeah, no, that's a sizable meal.
It's
So
so bad.
who's doing the cooking?
Is anyone a good cook?
Who would like to roll for some? Let's say nature or survival. Your pick.
Oh, I have +3 in nature, but
There you
that's it. Anybody beat that?
Hold on, I have +3 in nature, I have +2 in survival, so my nature's better.
Okay, your nature's +3.
Yeah, and my survival's +2.
Oh, your nature's better than your survival.
Yeah.
I mean, I could also just roll really poorly and it wouldn't matter.
I could also add a bit of arcane flavor to the dish when we're done, if it needs it. Only if it needs it. This does sound delicious.
Tastes like magic.
You think magic wins taste test?
Yeah, prestidigitation can flavor items.
Oh, it's like my wand just turned to a salt shaker. No sweat.
Twizzard, Agnes, you guys want to give this thing a whirl?
Yeah, good.
Well, I think I would probably know how to cook the baked apple more than I would know how to cook the fish. But Mr. Twizzard should know how to cook a fish.
Of course I do. Not just out of curiosity, why do you think I would know that?
Because you technically know how to cook a fish.
I do.
Yeah.
I
So
mean, fishing the northern waters is quite, common in Torrin. So
I
Yes.
probably would also know how to cook a fish as well because of my father. So it doesn't matter. Could we both roll and then use advantage?
are you both proficient in either nature or survival?
So, nature, yes.
Yeah.
All right,
Well, I'm at least partially proficient in everything.
perfect. Go ahead and one of you roll with advantage.
Go ahead, roll again.
Not much
15. It'll be
better.
15.
It was 11 or
15.
12.
Yeah, no, this is a deliciously. Did you say smoked? Did we decide on smoking?
Half of it is going to be just pan fried, I guess,
Got
over
it.
the fire, and then the other half we're gonna try smoking. And if it's not successful, then so be it.
Do you want that 15 to be for the smoking or for the pan frying?
Both.
Yeah, no, it's. I mean, it's really quite good. This is not quite sure what type of fish this was, but it's very good. Finistel takes one bite, and then I don't think I do need to add any flavoring, artificially, as it were.
Yeah, the river gives it all the flavor it needs.
This is delicious, amazing. I think I'll enjoy this trip with you folks.
I knew you would. Yar,
Alright.
yar.
So you guys enjoy your fish and baked apple dinner as the sun sets. Do we need to set up a camp of some sort?
Well, I have Liamin's tiny hut, so that'll suffice for 8 hours. But we probably still want to have maybe a lookout. It doesn't have to be 2 people at a time. What we've done in the past is we've had overlapping. So one person is on for 2 hours, and during the second hour, another person comes on for the first hour and then stays on for the second, and then another person will pop in.
Can your bone friend assist in this endeavor?
Mr. Twizzard?
You can help set up the tent.
No, there is no setting up a tent. It's magic.
He can stand outside, but mostly because he can't fit in it.
He can't fit inside the tent, so
Well, he could,
would
but he's
need-
not invited.
No, he can't.
He can fit. But just won't let him. Won't let him fit.
He would have to be a pile of bones in order to fit in this tiny hut.
Well, anyway. He volunteered to be our security guard.
So while Mr. Bones is outside keeping watch, we can have one person inside that switches out with other people.
Okay.
So, I mean, I don't mind taking the first watch since I'll be making this tent anyway.
Why do we need to watch? Why does Mr. Bones just watch?
Yeah, he's got it.
He doesn't need to sleep.
You could give him the order to guard. You might want to explicitly tell him what to do if, you know, you want to be clear with him.
Yeah. Just wake
That's why I'm afraid to just have Mr. Bones out there, because he is a little bit of a wild card.
He can hear you.
Yeah, just tell him to scream if somebody comes.
I don't think he can scream.
We'll knock on the door. Is there a doorbell on this hut?
No, he won't be able to get in, and I believe that we actually, I don't know if we can hear him.
You can hear Mr. Bones knock on. You go inside, Mr. Hall, him knock on the door.
Wait, what's going on?
Can I make a hut in which we would be able to hear things outside? Because I think it says that nothing can really, spells like incantations can't make it through.
This is Liamon's?
Yeah. We hut.
Yeah. The it's comfortable and dry. Wow, it doesn't actually mention sound.
Yeah.
Fascinating. The dome is opaque from the outside, or any color you choose. It is transparent from the inside. The atmosphere inside is comfortable and dry, regardless of weather outside. Spells or other magical effects can't extend through it or be cast through it. It doesn't actually mention sound anywhere.
Okay.
You tell me. If you want to let sound through, that's fine.
All right. So I'll say that we can let sound through, but I'm at least going to stay up for the first watch anyway.
All right. You folks each unroll your bedrolls or your cloaks. You make yourself comfortable within the arcane tiny hut that Agnes conjures. What color would you like the outside to be, Agnes?
Let's make it similar in color to the ground that's around us.
Sure. Little camouflage action. Mr. Bones stands outside as the night darkens. You see the stars come out from inside the hut as you look up. It's transparent. So it's as if you're sleeping under the stars, but you're protected and you're comfortable, and the night passes without event.
You're right. 8 o'clock in the morning.
Did you go to bed?
I only stayed up for what would be considered the first watch.
Okay.
All right. How's that hot smoked fish doing?
Oh, was the fish was smoking all night?
Ideally,
Probably. Well, usually you put out the
fire and then like the
and then just let the smoke kind of.
yeah.
Because the fire wouldn't need to be in our hut. The fire would probably be outside the hut.
Yeah, the fire's outside the hut. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so we'll say the 15 was for the fish you ate last night.
Hmm.
So smoked fish. Who wants to give me the check for that?
I'll do that one. But can I also do with advantage with Mr. Twizzard's advice?
Absolutely.
No, cook a little longer.
It would be 16 is the highest.
Yeah, that's all right.
All right. Yeah. No. It seems to have worked really well. It's a little better than the fish was last night actually. It's got some good smoky flavor.
All right.
Gotta write this recipe down.
Now, did
Yeah.
we wet the wood before we threw it on the fire so it would?
Absolutely.
Oak.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wasn't that to attract monsters so we could get in a fight? I thought that was the point of that.
Stay on the monster nay around in this.
So then, DM, do we still have this wood to use in the future, or is the wood pretty much gone? Because it was wet and on embers.
This was a box.
It's a
It
wooden
was-
box.
Rosewood wooden box. Was the fish in the box?
I mean, I'm not the one who smoked it.
Oh, boy.
Smoking something. There's about half the box left.
Half the box left, so we could use it for another smoking.
Sweet.
Wait, stop with your wet nose, Floyd.
Now here's the question. So the bag of holding is
Yeah.
is the time travel at the same speed as it does here? I guess it probably does.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. There's
Not
no.
a bag.
Like
There's
extra
no,
preserve.
there's no air inside, or the air, it'll preserve things fairly well.
Interesting. Okay. Well,
Maybe we should try to find like a couple of big leaves just to wrap it.
yeah, that's a good call. Do we see any big leaps? Looking around.
They're actually not. No, this is not big leaf type of. You can find some
Okay.
there's some sizable weeds.
I'm gonna
Um,
hand carry it for a bit, and then maybe we'll find something.
Which means he's going to eat it while we're traveling.
I would never eat the whole thing.
It's 3.5 pounds.
Yeah.
We gotta watch this guy.
What
Where
are
are you
you
going?
doing?
Look at that cat.
He's going on the
Is that
table.
Elsa's cat?
Could have been.
All right. So yeah, it is the morning of DePaul. Might be a little more overcast than it was yesterday, but still, a fine day for traveling. Anything you folks want to do in the morning before you get on the road?
Do I get my spell slot back?
Absolutely. Yes, you have all had the benefits of a long rest.
I do 10 push-ups. My wizard workout.
All right.
I go to the river to wash my face and hands and do basic toiletry things.
Yep. You see Finn nearby doing the same.
And I make a comment to her. It's only the people who really care about hygiene that actually do these things in the morning, huh?
Isn't it always the way? And it's nice to have some fresh water instead of just relying on prestidigitation to clean yourself up, as it were.
Yeah. Well, I don't have that cantrip, but
Well, if you ever need anything clean, just let me know.
Oh, thank you. Mr. Twizzard was talking about getting some new pants, and I told him that there was such a thing called washing,
Ha!
because he only uses prestidigitation.
It
I
does.
wash my clothes.
Yeah, no, that does not surprise me about Mr. Twizzard. He is a bit peculiar at times, isn't he? How did you two meet?
We actually met probably as I was passing through Torin, and he was heading down towards Bellwether Glen, and we decided to kind of just pair up, and we became pretty good buddies.
Well,
You have to have a lot of patience with him.
I believe that. But he
Get out
seems
to the
like
water.
he seems
If
like
that's
a. Oh, sorry, Finric.
I'm sorry. I saw a natural break in the conversation. I jumped in. Go for it.
Are you joining us at the river, Finric?
I was gonna don my life jacket and go into the water.
Look, what is that you're putting on there, Finric?
It's a vest. It's like a water floaty vest
A
thing.
water floaty vest. Not a fan of water, are you?
You know, water like this is maybe okay. I don't like deep water.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. It's like there's always the small risk. It's like, what if I'm here and I have some sort of like I don't know, like minor stroke, and then like the water carries me off, and like this water is fine, but then it like dumps out to the ocean, and all of a sudden I come to from my stroke, and I'm in the middle of dark water.
Yeah,
Without my-
no, I can see how that would be a concern.
So just it's good to be careful. Is really what I'm saying.
Yeah, yeah, no, that's great. Great. All right.
What are you wearing?
What am I wearing? Just my normal traveling clothes.
Good talk.
Some kind of flowing robes here. I know it seems a little too much, but I'm comfortable.
All right. Cool.
And,
Just seems like maybe
if
it's gonna be like a one day.
If the bottoms of my skirts gets a little dirty again, I can always press the digitation and clean. So.
That's handy. Yeah, I just have to do things the old-fashioned way.
I have seen monks with arcane abilities. It's never too late to learn something new, Finric.
I'll keep that in mind.
All right. All right. Anyone else? Are you recasting Mr. Bones, Twizzard?
Oh yes, I'm definitely doing that.
All right. He is under your control once more. He has not freed himself. Anyone else want to do anything before getting on the road?
I guess maybe eat a small breakfast.
Sure. All right. You folks continue. You've gone off the road a bit to find this spot, but you get back on the road and continue. It's still fairly early in the morning, waking with the sun, as it were, being effectively outdoors. And yeah, you continue. Again, there's various farmhouses along the way. You see some people out. A few children wave to you from one of the nearer houses. Again, you see some.
Starts for them.
You see a goat herd, a rather large flock of goats. I don't know if it's a flock of goats as well as a flock of sheep, but a good amount of goats. You also pass a swineherd with a group of pigs that he has a little bell that he rings on his staff as he moves them around. See that off in the distance. And you find yourself coming up behind a riding horse and a pony being ridden by two individuals. As you get closer, Agnes, you see that on the riding horse there is a very rather fancily dressed for riding, and the rather shorter in stature woman next to her on the pony, and the pony is rather laden with bags. The horse has some as well, but they're sort of leisurely riding along, and you're coming up behind them. What would you like to do?
I say, on your left.
As they turn, the woman on the horse says, "Oh, Twizzard! I'm so happy you caught up with us! What a fortuitous change of events!"
See, I told you we'd come.
And sure enough, it is. This must be your what would she say? These must be your assistants, your group.
These are my assistant group. Yeah, these are them.
Oh, and you have your rather large bone friend. Oh, what a delight! Yes. Hello, good morning, everybody. What or is it afternoon yet? I am the Lady Norfil Leowin, and this is my servant Heather. Heather sort of like takes you all in with a slow gaze. We had to. I'm very sorry. I'm so glad you caught up. I received word that I was needed in court post haste. Something to do with some intrigue and deceit, no doubt. But Heather and I had to hit the road early yesterday. I'm afraid. Did you receive the message I left for you at the Singing Sisters?
Of course.
Excellent, excellent. I am glad you were able to catch up and continue with us on the road to Wesleyville, then I trust.
I turn and I look at Mr. Twizzard. I use my sending stone and I'm like, "You're dead."
I believe introductions, Twizzard. Could you introduce your assistants?
Oh, yes, of course. Madam Circus, this is Agnes, Finric, Paelias, Mr. Bones, Finistral, formerly Sinistral. She's very nice now, so we all like her. And these are our horses.
Ah,
That's everybody.
wow. That's well, all right then. Are they all as magically endowed as yourself, Twizzard?
Well, no one is quite as magically endowed as myself, but
Heather
They each-
rolls her eyes.
they each bring their own special critical talents to the table.
Wonderful.
Why, just yesterday we slew a humongous river beast, ate it for dinner.
Really? Oh my goodness! I can't wait for the adventures we're going to all have together.
That wasn't actually a lie.
Nothing I said is a lie.
It was a fairly large river.
Fish.
Oh wait, I'm sorry. What was that?
What? Nothing. There was some thunder in the distance. I heard it too. We better get moving.
All right. Yes, of course. All right. So you folks have joined parties with Lady Norfel Leowin and her servant Heather. So you're does anyone want to ride near her or far from her, as it would be?
I think I will. I mean, I'll be riding up front, so I guess if she's up front, then I'm riding with her.
She would probably. She's definitely intrigued by. I think she's probably intrigued by. I'm gonna say Paelias. Paelias is quite intriguing to her.
What did I do?
And so she's going to
know.
she's going
Trying
to
to find out.
ride fairly near you and Twizzard. I'm gonna say Finistel. Finric, are you up front? Are you hanging back? Where would you like to be, Finric?
We can hang around Finistil.
All right, so you folks are hanging back a little. Heather is
Owner.
going to be riding next to you. She wants to ride behind her, and then Mr. Bones is bringing up the rear again. So
I guess this is a fairly wide road.
Yes, yeah. You can ride. Yeah, you can ride 3 abreast. This is a fairly large.
We can only move as fast as my poor mule soul can go. So
Yes, and mules and ponies are the same. So, and you guys are you trying to push yourselves to ride faster? Or
No.
you?
no, we're just trying to get whatever the average is for each day.
Sure.
Faster than this lady.
Well, we did catch up to her, so she must have been just somewhat meandering.
Yeah, they were definitely taking their time. So, Paelias, was it?
Yeah, that's me.
You look ready for battle. What is your background, Paelias? What is your specialties? Give me the Paelias story.
Well, I'm, an elf, high elf. I was a low elf, but then I grew.
Really fascinating.
Yeah. I do elf stuff. I read and I do some magic here and there and fight off
Really?
beasts.
Could you
Sure.
could you perhaps do some magic for me now?
Well, yeah, I don't know. You hurt? You need some healing, or what would you like?
Oh, perhaps a bit saddle sore after 2 days.
Oh, okay, yeah, I can help you with that saddle sore. I guess I can. Let's see what I can do for you. Uh, let's see. You feel like a good mending? I can do a little mending if you want me to. All I have to do is touch the area. Oh, you know what? No, this is better. You got a broken something. You got something that broke recently.
Like a physical object.
Sure, yeah. Like a chain or like a wand or a key. Or
Heather, where's my hairbrush that you broke? Heather sort of rolls her eyes and hands
Oh, yeah, there you go.
2 halves of a hairbrush.
Oh, I can fix that. Sure. I'll do some mending on it.
All right, so you cast the mending cantrip.
Yeah.
When did you get mending?
Last time I upgraded, I think.
There you go, and whoop, the 2 halves of the hairbrush are repaired. That is
you go.
amazing. And can you do
Oh,
that
yeah,
with
no,
anything?
Yeah, I can mend. Let's see, anything that has a single break or tear. And if you give me 2 halves of it, I can put it back together. It can, of course, the tear can be no more than a foot in any dimension. But
I see.
yep, that's about what I can do.
Now, where does your magical ability come from?
Oh well, I do worship the goddess Minstrel. She is quite
Mistra.
sure. Yeah, she was a minstrel in her profession, but then she became a goddess and gave up the minstrel area.
Give me a performance check.
And a roll? Oh my goodness.
Yeah, performance roll. Not even persuasion. You just
I haven't rolled in weeks. All right. Okay, that's something, and then what is it? Performance?
yeah.
Okay, performance. I get +1, so it's a 19.
Yeah,
Nice.
she's just she's hanging on every word.
Oh yeah.
She wants to learn all about Mr. and Miss Ministrel, the performing goddess.
Yeah. She's quite the goddess. I've studied her for quite a long time, and she's helped me in a lot of my magic. And I look to her for guidance on which path I should take sometimes, and she's been quite helpful.
It's just fascinating. And so you'll be available to perform along with Twizzard then.
What is this performance we're doing then?
Oh, has Twizzard not explained it to you? Does he?
Not
He
at
sort of
all.
calls the shots, and you folks just follow along.
He would like to think that, yeah.
I see. Okay. Well, no. I mean, what I was thinking is, I could send some invitations out, perhaps to the other nobility, and then you folks could, do what you do best. Just entertain. Impress. Of course, it would serve to introduce you to the nobility, and of course, it would be helpful to my reputation. I have to be mindful of such things, but I think anything you'd want to do, perhaps. I don't know. I would look to you. You're the experts.
Right. Sure. And this is like a one-time deal that we're doing this.
I mean,
'Cause we do have
that's how
other-
I was thinking of it, but
Oh yeah. Well, we do have other places to be, of course.
of
and
course.
This is a bit out of our way. So what kind of compensation has Twizzard bargained with you for?
He admittedly has been a little light in the details, but I would certainly compensate you for your time.
All right. Well, that's good to know because we would definitely it would cost us at least an extra a week, I think, to come out there and to I mean, of course, we'd love to give our exploration of our tale of how we defeated the great mummy in the pyramids and how we saved the town of whatever town it was we came from. I think.
Yes. Now, Twizzard led me to believe you were heading to Wesleyville anyway.
Wesleyville. Yes. Were we? Was there a reason for that?
Are you asking me?
No. Are they still within earshot? I thought they were listening.
I mean, you're all just riding along the road. You're not that far from each other.
Right next to you?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we're going to Wesleyville.
Yeah. Was there another reason we had to go to Wesleyville? I thought this was the only reason we were going to Wesleyville.
We were going to Wesleyville to cut across to Glicknell and see some of Agnes's folks.
And we also needed to get the paperwork for buying land.
Well, we wanted to do. That's true.
Got a couple small names here.
So I suppose maybe a week was a little bit overindulgent, but
Stepping stone, but we have to prepare and all that kind of stuff.
yeah, sure. But there's still certainly the time it takes to mentally and physically prepare for the things that we're about to do. It's quite a taxing journey for sure.
Of course. Well, I wouldn't mean to impose on you folks. I understand there are probably important things you must be doing.
Yes, there are some very important things actually. We have quite a journey ahead of us, several months that she'll take.
What are you seeking on this journey of yours?
Well, there's only so much we could tell you, to be honest. It's we usually don't discuss the journeys until after they're finished. But this one's going to be a doozy, I'll tell you.
A doozy, you say? Do you hear that, Heather? A doozy! Finric, you glance over at Heather, and Heather rolls her eyes again.
Oh, yeah?
Cool.
All right, so
she's not the talkative type.
what's that?
She's not the talkative type.
Heather?
You got her?
Heather is definitely not. I believe the only thing you've heard Heather say, or Twizzard has heard Heather say, is, "Don't fuck with my mistress."
So can I send in stone Paelias? So what do you think about that? Very good, huh? Make lots of money, meet the nobles.
Well, I still haven't heard a number. What kind of number are we making here?
I don't know. I was hoping we could figure out more details and then raise, bargain to get that a little higher, whatever it could be. I figure when there's nobles involved, we can usually throw around big numbers.
All right. So, yeah, should we negotiate now or what?
We could.
Yeah. All right.
Good.
So, circus lady.
I'm sorry. What?
What was your name again? The circus.
I.
The great.
Paelias, my name is Lady Northa Leowin.
Lady Northa Leowin. Okay.
Perhaps we haven't fully. So, I'm not quite sure of your status, Paelias.
I'm a sir, for sure.
You're a what?
I'm a knighted.
You've been knighted.
Yeah, knighted elf. Yep.
Who have you been knighted by?
Sir Galdinger, probably.
Sir Brian Galdinger. You know the Galdingers?
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Yep. They're
he
good
certainly
friends
doesn't have the capability of knighting anyone, but
and his knighted friend.
I'm sorry, what?
Must have been his knighted friend that
His
knighted
friend.
Hey, Sending Stone, I'm not pulling you out of this one. You're doing it on your own.
I'm just bad with names.
Maybe I should meet some of the other members of your group.
Oh yeah, they're hoot.
Yeah, we could probably talk later.
All right.
She sort of pulls back next to Finric, and Heather falls back behind next to hear Mr. Bones as he lopes along near you.
Okay, sending stone, everyone. Quick poll. Do we want out of this?
So, look at
Don't
you with
get in the
your
way.
hat and your bag. What's your name again?
Oh, Finric.
Nice to meet you, Finric.
Yeah, would you like some smoked fish?
Smoked fish. Is that a common thing where you come from?
Well, usually we eat it raw.
I see. I would love to try your smoked fish. Certainly.
Cool. I'm gonna grab a handful of smoked fish. I'm gonna shove a handful in my face. And I'm gonna take another handful and offer it to her.
Put it in your face.
She's sort of, she's wearing like white gloves. She's like, I see. And this is I'm sorry, where did you say you were from again?
Oh, I didn't say.
Well, where are you from?
I'm from the Gorsons.
Really? You have come a long way. Are the rumors true?
Well, I find that in every stereotype, there's a grain of truth.
I see. That is very wise. You have a very wise air about you.
Yeah. We're definitely intolerant like that in the Gorsons.
I'm sorry?
No, what?
And she takes a bite of the fish. Well, that's quite delicious, actually.
Cool.
And how do you assist Twizzard on his adventures?
Well, I'm a bit of a geek.
A geek? I'm not familiar with that term. Is that a Gorson?
I believe you bite the heads off of chickens, right? If you're a geek.
Yeah, just sort of anything really. I was actually going to ask, like, for this thing. I heard you talking about this little event for the gentry and stuff, and I was wondering if maybe when you put the word out, they could bring their pets.
Bring their pets?
Yeah.
Whatever for?
So I'll eat them live.
You will eat their pets. Yes, that's, well, I don't know if, wow, all right, I will, I'll keep that in mind.
Well, it's just I find it's better if they bring if they bring their pets. Otherwise, if there's only children about, then that.
Right. Heather. And she sort of rides off to one side, and you hear her muttering something to Heather. Heather rides back next to you, and she sort of maneuvers her horse up to Agnes at the front of the line. Well, Agnes, was it?
Send it to Agnes, bring it home.
Agnes, it is.
Yes, I know. I couldn't help but notice you have several instruments with you. Are you a bard, then?
Why, you are quite observant. For a lady, of course.
Well, I like to know what entertainment could be available to me. And how do you assist Twizzard?
Oh, well, as a bard, I am his... He and I are inspired by each other. He is my muse.
Really?
And I inspire him in battle.
Ah.
With my songs.
Oh, delightful. Delightful. Wow. Perhaps we could, I don't know, stage something during the banquet?
Well, stage is really the only thing I do. These other people they are true adventurers, and I think they would actually find it beneath themselves to step upon a stage, whereas I am made for the stage.
Indeed, lovely. How long have you been with that Finric fellow? He strikes me as a bit, I don't know, more rustic than the others.
Well, he is really the muscle of the group, and that being said, he does need to have quite a bit of protein. And so he does eat quite a bit of raw meat.
Raw meat? Really? I did eat some fish he gave me. I mean, it tasted well enough. Do you think I should have eaten it?
Oh, I made it. It's fine.
Oh, well, that explains things. All right, yes. Wonderful, wonderful. Yeah, and I think the day pretty much proceeds as that. Is there any particular things you'd like to do before the end of day 2?
Well, I feel like I had my share of the smoked fish, so I feel like I should share the rest of it with the group.
Sure, yeah. You folks probably stop for lunch and then continue.
So while before I start playing for a song of rest, I'm going to speak with Lady Northville Lowen and talk price.
Sure.
So
how
I'm
would
going
you...
to remind her that my fellow companions are not meant for the stage, and that they would find it quite below themselves to perform if they were not actually doing an actual battle. And so this would probably, a performance would run her maybe about 2,000 gold pieces.
Per.
No, I think
How would you... Is that the manner in which you're broaching the subject?
yes, that the yeah, exactly as I have
Okay.
it, that my fellow colleagues are true adventurers. They are not performers, and they would never stoop that low to pretend to fight when they should actually be fighting. There's quite a bit of honor in it. Whereas I am a performer by nature, and so I'm okay with it, but it's going to have to be a pretty significant price in order for me to convince them that it's worth their time.
All right, give me a persuasion check.
15.
I see. That when you put it that way, that makes a lot of sense. 2,000 is I'll be perfectly honest, it's a bit above what I was hoping. Twizzard really didn't seem like. Now, are you sure you can? Are you his negotiator then?
Well, like I said, he's my muse and I'm his inspiration.
I see,
in
of course.
battle.
Now would it be the full group of you?
It would not include Mr. Bones, nor would it include Finn. Neither of them were in the actual battle, so they would probably be excluded. However, if they decide that they do not want to do this, because you are not able to meet the asking price, I certainly would not mind performing my songs about the battle for 200 gold pieces myself.
I see. I would like some arcane spectacle.
Mr. Twizzard might be able to put in a couple of magic pieces just to give it some special effects. But I could do that as well. I do have some arcane abilities myself, and I'll do a minor illusion of the smell of a bouquet of flowers, some roses and lilies.
Oh, that's quite nice. How about this? Now, if I have the proper timeline to, there are some protocols that must be followed. Nobility can be quite persnickety when it comes to being invited places. I could see. I definitely want Twizzard. He has sort of drawn me in with his eccentricities and his bone associates, and there's something unmistakable, intriguing about him, if you would. Perhaps Paelias and Finric wouldn't need to be a part of it. And you said Finistel, we would have to talk to her?
Well, she wasn't there for the actual event, so she would be. Maybe she could you know, I could cast disguise on her and she could pretend to be the mummy lord. But I don't know if she would
Oh.
actually want to perform either because she is not quite part of our group yet, and I don't think that she is
How
is
about
too
this?
honest.
How about yourself? You could act as the weaver of the tale and the sort of the MC for the evening. And then Twizzard and Mr. Bones, of course, and perhaps Finistel. I could see going as high if it was the three of you, and perhaps Finistel, Mr. Bones, Twizzard yourself. I could see going as high as 500 gold pieces for an evening that would last from first appetizer to final dance.
Why don't we stop for lunch and I will talk it over with Mr. Twizzard and the rest of them.
Of course, of course. All right, so you folks stop for. I didn't know if you'd stopped already for lunch, so it's still. We'll say it's still.
Second lunch.
We get lunch. Okay, it's lunchtime now. You folks stop. Heather and sort of the lady gives you some room, and you sort of just a little ways off the road, find a nice spot, and it is also 11:40 in real time. So perhaps as we break for lunch on this wonderful DePaul around noon. We will leave things here to muse, to think about this offer from this noble that you've all now had a bit of a chance to get to know. Her silent but ever-present servant, with a little bit more knowledge of perhaps some destinations you might want to visit when you get to Wesleyville. We will leave the Atem snacking by the side of the northern road on their way.
Nom 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 nom.
Thank you all for playing. Thank you all for watching. For this surprisingly idyllic session. And we'll see you all next Friday for another exciting episode of BND Live.